I'll turn on the recording right here too. So I can also send you a link to this video later if that's helpful.
Oh, awesome. Yeah, no, that would be really great.
Cool. Okay. So, so yeah, I'll just, since we weren't recording, if you want to copy all the content from the page, if you come to the top to classic mode, then you can just highlight all the content, copy it, go to your new page and all pages, open it up, you know, come kind of here and paste. And then my internet's slowing down. Then if you click on the backend editor, it'll take you back into the builder mode.
So when you paste it into the new page, do you have to paste that into a box or an element that you've drug in, or do you just paste it straight onto the page?
I would just go straight onto the page. So if you came over here to pages and add new, then, oops, I went to contact and add new, pages, add new. Then if you're in this mode, I would just paste, you know, right. And then hit the backend editor.
Perfect.
And that'll turn it into an actual row.
Sweet.
Go back to the home page. Looks like I'm going the long way. Okay, so if you go back to home, I'll just kind of roll through some of the features we have on the home page that you might copy or edit. So we've got like a video player. If you come in and hit the edit tool, you can always change the link if you wanted to, you know, put in a new video. It's really just copying the link directly from YouTube. The fancy boxes, if you hover over those, the pencil tool, you can come in and see the actual content that's inside them. Also here, the image is what's in the background. So you can X that out and add a new image if you want to change those out at some point.
Does it allow you to add an image and then kind of edit around the placement of the image, or do you have to have it a specific size before you even import it?
WordPress does over here in the media library. You can upload an image and kind of crop it is the main. It doesn't allow for a lot of editing like Photoshop or some of the others, but it does allow you to crop it. If it's too small, you know, you'll see it'll look grainy. There's not much you can do about that. But when it does import it, it actually imports it in 4 different sizes that you can choose from. So I think it's thumbnail, medium, large, original size. So you can choose one of those sizes in the page. The fancy boxes are set up to just scale the image. So whatever you put in there, it's going to automatically scale it to the background of whatever size the box is. So, so that kind of gives it that universal appearance. No matter what size you load it at, it'll skew it, not skew it, but it'll make it fit. So that's kind of nice for those. So each one of those is set up the same way, where you've got your image here. And then scrolling down, these are some numbers that you'll probably want to update at some point, but it should be pretty easy. So we've got, you know, Knights of the Shelter, that we've got that 58,000 milestone. If you click in here, you just can come in and update that number, and it'll update that animated ticker that appears on the front end. So, so it's really just a matter of clicking in here and changing those numbers. And as you scroll down to the bottom,
if I wanted, sorry, like if I want to change, like on the last one, I think we had number of shelters, but I wanted to change that one. It says locations, like percentage youth returned home. I don't really know my verbiage I want on that. Probably I haven't said it yet. I would just do that on the milestone subject and then change the number up above.
Right. Yeah. And that could be, 20%. You can do a % sign or, you know, any of those symbols in there as well. So.
Okay, cool.
Yeah. Okay, and then the donate buttons, these are all linked to that mobile cause page. So
Okay.
I don't know that you'll need to really have to edit any of those unless you change the way you're accepting donations. There is a link associated. So these are buttons. So essentially they've got their value. This was another, but the others have a dollar amount. And then down here is the link where it goes to. So the mobile cause link in there.
Okay.
So the events,
Oh,
this area right now is really static, I guess I would call it. So you could, come
Yeah.
in, they're just text boxes. Should, after COVID's over, or even if you have it now, there are some tools for WordPress I could suggest that are more like more of an interactive calendar option. So it could
yeah, because that's one thing I was like, can we link, if they want to know more about it, is there just a simple link that I could get it to a flyer or a, I was assuming there would be, but
yeah,
without the extra add-ins or.
Right. Yeah. Yeah, if you don't need like a whole, there's some tools we could use that would have like a whole calendar view format, if they wanted to. But if it's just something like for now, you just want to add a link to a flyer, you could actually maybe below say view.
Click here for more info.
More information. Yeah. And then so your link tool is right here. The flyer, it looks like a little paper clip.
Yep.
So, but what you have to do first is actually add the flyer. So if it's not something on a different website you're sending them to,
okay.
If it's like a PDF or a JPEG or something that you're loading, you would go to add media, select your file, load it. Once it's loaded, then it'd be in the media library, and like the annual report in here. You would just want to come in and copy that file URL, copy to clipboard once you load it.
Okay.
So if this was a flyer, I would load it, copy to clipboard. And then where you've got your view flyer, you would highlight whatever you want to be linked, and then click on that insert add link, and then paste it in there.
Okay.
And that'll make it a hyperlink. Uh-oh. Somebody fell.
Oh.
All right. So yeah, should you need something in the future that's more interactive or a different kind of calendar, I can always help you through that.
Okay.
But for now, that's kind of should be a pretty simple way to update the events.
Yeah, and if there's any at the end of this, if there's any particular add-ons that you think might be helpful, then we can I can just write those down and then look into them.
Yeah, for sure. Okay, and then these are really just kind of jumping off to potentially other pages. So
right.
Yeah, these boxes. So where the images are coming from on these is in each column, there's also a little pencil tool. And if you click on that, over here in the background is where we're telling it to put the image. So so if you don't see an image in the settings when you go into edit, because this just looks like a text box, then just go look for the pencil tool above or around the element, and that's usually where the background is.
Okay.
In there. And just a note too, so if you wanted to add like a whole nother subject to the home page or another page, what you do is down here you see this big plus. So if you click on that, it opens up the builder. So these are all the elements that are available to you in the builder tool. So we've got,
Okay.
you could do a slider, you could pull in blog news posts. You would have to add those under posts here.
Okay.
You could do an icon with text, a fancy list, a button. There's a single image, or there's also an image gallery. Call to action allows you to just style a box a little different way. Flip boxes, I don't think we're using any of those here, but they're kind of fun too. If you hover over a box, you could have text on one side and you hover and there's an image and something else on the other. Just a bunch of little gadgets that, you know, you may find. I'll take you over to the about page here in a second because I use the team member element there.
Okay.
But yeah, you can kind of go through testimonial, pie charts, all kinds of stuff. So, so those are all available. And all of these rows you can drag and drop also. So if you create a new row at the bottom, but you want it to appear, maybe it's a special event or something up here, you can just grab that 4-way arrow and pull it around.
Okay.
Yeah, so that's the home page. I'll go over to the about page because I added a few things there.
Okay. And as I am building these, the inside pages, do you have like best practices as I'm doing that? Or just start drag and dropping and making them?
Yeah, I mean, sometimes, I mean, I've done enough of them that it kind of just sort of metamorphosizes in my mind once I see the content. But sometimes I think people find it helpful to go maybe look at other websites or even on this, what elements you like, and like, oh, that's a good idea, you know.
Yeah, absolutely. But I mean, just as far as the building on the WordPress site, is there a, you know, is there best practices? I like to do this and before I do that, because then it screws up that if I don't.
Right. Yeah, I mean, I don't, trying to think of a specific like tool or something that would, I mean, generally you don't want to put too much body text like in a black box where people's eyes can't read it very well, you know, so lighter backgrounds. If you put too many things in a row, sometimes on mobile, it ends up looking a bit funky. So kind of the styles right now that a lot of the new sites are using are this kind of split column or 3-column approach to things. I think and as you go down and style the page, sometimes it's I see a lot of this kind of right, left, styling, so that maybe you're not putting, you know, a bunch of images on the right and just a long string of text on the left. So the kind of style right now is breaking things up in what I'd call like a screen view.
Chunks.
Yeah, so this is kind of like a whole story you see on the screen, and then you scroll down one, and here's the next story. So
is there a way to change the shape of that square, or is that more complicated? Like make it like on Danny's picture. Like I saw when I was looking like on Access, and they have these circles, and that was pretty fun looking.
Oh, circles. I don't know. I think you'd have to actually design the so like in Photoshop is probably what they did. I was doing that the other day actually, is you'd have to actually save the image as a circle. So
okay, that's easy enough.
Yeah, so I would just, can you see my Photoshop screen right here?
No, I'm still on WordPress.
Okay. Let me, I always forget if you change screens, I
know, right?
There we go. So this is an image where essentially I would copy the square, go into a new artboard, save it as a circle, and then save the image in that format.
Yeah, are you like 500 pixels by 500 pixels, or are you smaller?
I would say that's about right for if you like this 3-column setup I've started.
Okay.
You could go 4 across and make it smaller. You could go 2 and make them
Sure.
bigger, kind of however
Okay.
many you end up with. But yeah, I would say that's plenty, and it'll shrink it down a little bit to make it fit too.
Okay.
So
Sounds good.
yeah, and so those would be pretty easy for you to update then. So the tool also does offer, the way it's set up now is it's got the little profile image, but then it also has, when you click on it, it goes to a bio page. So maybe.
Now, are you back on WordPress?
Yeah. So.
Okay. I'm still looking at your Photoshop.
Oh, sorry. That would be helpful, wouldn't it? You could see. You share. Okay.
There you go.
Go back to the about page. Okay, so so if you did the circle as the main image, and then if you click on it right now, then maybe her square one appears here. If you like this format, we don't have to do it, but then you can put the whole bio in on the left.
Okay.
As well.
But would that be one that would just, if I put the bio in, would it then just scroll all the way down? Because or is there a click to bio, so people don't have to see it? Because sometimes those get very long and ugly looking, depending on how much copy's in there.
Exactly, for sure. So right now it's just set up where they have to click on them to get the bio. And then
okay. That's great.
Yeah.
Let me go over there. Yeah. Is there a when you are what's the difference between edit and quick edit?
So quick edit is just going to allow you to change simple things like the title of the page or post and.
Okay, more like copy. Okay.
Yeah. So you'll want to be in edit mode most of the time.
Okay, great. Is there does Word have so you make your changes, click update, and do you have to do anything else?
No, that makes it live. A couple of things to note over there. You can, above the update button on the upper right, there is a preview changes option.
Right.
You can, see what you're doing first before you update. There's also a revisions option, which is kind of nice. So like this page has been saved 10 times.
Oh, yeah.
You can always browse and restore a previously saved page also.
Okay, that's cool.
Something happens.
That's cool.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, that is handy.
Yeah.
And then back here in the team members, so you've got the first image is, the image you see on the page. The bio image is the bigger image that would appear next to the bio. And then down here is where the name, job, mini bio is where I put the contact info. And then you can put the full bio in there. And then you can add, I don't know, it's probably not relevant to have social links in there, but you can. It's built in.
Okay.
And the last part, I just kind of threw in a row for the annual report.
Yeah, I don't even know if I'll need it, but I thought it'd be better just to have something there in case I need to, I might make a newsletter page or,
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and that would make sense. I mean, annual report, I figured that's kind of about the organizational info anyway. So
right.
Yeah, and then there could be under even contact or oh, and you did ask about adding like drop downs, right? Under
like up on you have your page and I want to do a subhead under the about, which would be board, blah blah, other guys, newsletters, careers.
Yeah. So in that case, because they would all be pages, you would go to pages and add new.
Okay.
And then I can just add one to give you an idea. So careers. And then I would just publish.
Okay.
And then add new to board of directors. And you can change all these titles later if you need to. But okay, so we have 2 new pages. So where the navigational system lives is under appearance and then menus.
Okay.
And then the trick here is once you've created pages, they're going to appear under pages on the left-hand side. So I would checkbox board of directors and careers since I want to add those. And then you just click add to menu. And they're going to drop them down at the bottom of the menu. So this is all, everything you see here is what I call like level 1. So it appears, first. So if you want something to be a drop down, then you just drag it underneath slightly to the right.
Perfect. Okay, that makes sense. Okay, that's easy.
And then save. And I can double check on the styling of that because we might want to tweak with that a little bit too.
So the process of that, I've added a couple pages, gone to the appearance and menus. When did you click those 2? Was that?
So if your appearance menu on the left-hand side, it says add new menu items, and then it says pages. So you just checkbox the 2 or whichever ones you need.
Okay.
And then there's a add to menu button at the bottom of that section.
All right. Got it.
And then on the live end, now when you hover over about, you get the drop down items.
Great.
Which we probably want to make the font a little bigger, but I'll show you where to do that. So yeah, any of those pages that you can do that. Under contact, I added a page there and just put in some basic info that you could update and a form.
Oh, perfect.
And that goes to you for now.
Okay.
In terms of the result there. And on that page, I'll show you also when to edit page. You can edit any of the text box there, but down towards the bottom, this theme also gives you an option for a header image. So that image that appears at the top of the page is actually not up here, but you'll see it in the settings towards the bottom of the page that says page header settings.
Okay.
And there you can always change out that image. You can make it size differently and you can add text over it.
That's good. Like this, where you have the contact us, I've seen this in a bunch of the different websites. So it spans the page, and then you can kind of scroll down to your next bar. That's just one of the elements, right, that you would add in as you're building your page.
So explain that one more time.
See where the contact us, that element there that spans the page. And then it seems like the style is you scroll up and it looks like the stuff disappears under it, and then you get another band, how would I put another one down below there, just that would create that kind of effect? Not that I'm going to do that on this page, but does that make any sense?
Are you talking about like a parallax effect?
I think so.
Parallax. Okay, so there is the option in the header here to turn on what's called parallax.
Okay.
And I can show you the feature and see if it's the one you're thinking about.
That's one of those things. It's like I might not use it. It's just kind of nice to.
Yeah, they are fun. So then it kind of just pushes everything up, like.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I wouldn't do it on the contact page. It doesn't make sense, but.
Yeah, so that's That's the parallax effect. So that would be where you'd find the setting in
Okay.
the contact page. But one thing to note, let me go back to about maybe. So on any row or any element that you have, so over here on the row editor, so if you click on the pencil tool on any row, on the far right side, there's an option called animation. So you can turn on that parallax effect. So if you've got like a big image spanning the background of something, that's usually when it's used. So it creates that kind of collapsing effect. The other option too, the pencil tool on, so this is called a row. So the settings on the far right, then in each one of these, the pencil tool, this is called a column. So if you go into edit any column under animation, you can also turn on entire column animation, and you can have different effects like fade in from left, and it just gives a really.
Now, where did you find that one?
So if you go to the any column, so like for example, this would be a column, and be a column, this would be a column. So if you click on the pencil tool, edit this column, then it's going to give you a number of settings. Like I have a slight padding happening here just to make it breathe a little more. And then on the right hand side, you know, you could put a background image or color behind the column. On the far right is animation. So that's where you can activate that. And I'll just save one. And so you can kind of experiment with, it's really subtle, but it kind of adds, I did it on the homepage a bit. It adds a little bit of it.
Yeah, we noticed like when you did the shelters, that was cool. We noticed that.
Yeah, just little like that meet that staff now just kind of just flows in a little bit.
Right.
So you can kind of play around with those.
Fun.
And I'll show you where all of the main core theme settings are too. So on the left-hand side, if you're in the dashboard under salient, and anytime you want to get back into the dashboard, if you're on the site, you can, on the far left, there's this W, which stands for WordPress. So if you click on that, it's going to get you back into kind of the whole back end. And then you can click on salient. And salient is where a lot of the main styles of the website are coming from. So like typography, I've picked a number of fonts that kind of, I thought, complement your logo and such, but you can, this is where they are if you ever wanted to change like the body copy size or font. Header navigation, this is where your logo is if that were to change. The menu, this is where the colors are coming from for the menu there. So it's kind of explanatory in terms of, you know, you can go through each one of these and whether or not you need to get into them, but that's where they are. Social media, for example, this is where all those links come from. So if you know, got a Twitter page or something, you can always add the link in there. And then in the left-hand side media, that's where all of the everything you upload to the site will be. So you can always come in here and load some more things or to reference something that's been loaded.
And are there limits to the, I mean, is there like, if I'm uploading a picture to the website, what should I be thinking as far as sizes and DPI and all that stuff?
Yeah, so I mean, I'd say between 72 and 100 DPI is the target. You really don't need an image larger than say about 2,000 pixels wide.
Okay.
That's really kind of the full screen image size. So, you know, WordPress will resize it for you, but certain times the way, depending on how you're inserting it, it can actually load the full size. So definitely want to try and target like through, you know, no more than 400 kilobytes per file, or it just starts to slow down.
Okay, that's a good
load times
reference.
Mm-hmm.
400 K. It doesn't seem, how many megs is that? Is that even a meg?
Slightly less than half of one.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah, video files is a whole different thing, but with images, you can usually retain a pretty good image resolution still at that 2000 pixels wide on all screens. So
okay. Okay.
So that's a good target.
Good.
See what else?
Let's see. I think I'll just go ahead and start playing around and building my pages.
Mm-hmm.
Then once I get them built, that's when I have no clue what to do.
Mm-hmm.
Like I think I'll be fine just building the pages. I don't think I have too much problem on that. But yeah, once I get them built, then that's the dark hole for me.
Of and how to make the site live, or
yes,
yeah.
What to do there and all that stuff. And then I think I forwarded you that message from Seth yesterday about making that video half size.
Right, and I think if we get the MP4 file, that'll change the whole way I can lay that out.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So essentially make that go away, and we can style it the way you're suggesting with the other file.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah. Once I get that from Cassie, then I'll shoot that over.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
So I guess the question, who currently, what company hosts the website?
Right now we're doing Snap Pages, and I think we're on GoDaddy. I want to say we're on GoDaddy.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and that's actually where this draft is currently hosted. So that makes it fairly easy. We could look into what plan you have. I usually recommend their managed WordPress host plan, which is really the same cost as their plans. It's just specifically for WordPress. So it just helps add all those layers of security that WordPress could use.
Yes. Because that's one of the things we don't have right now. We don't have the ability to have a secure site because Snap Pages is, you know, kind of low rent that way.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so we could maybe just, once you can get into if you can get into the GoDaddy account, I can look and see how it's set up and, you know, make a recommendation for the host plan. And then in terms of launching, once this is just on one of my GoDaddy test servers, I can migrate it into your account and on GoDaddy, and then we can add a SSL certificate to make it the HTTPS. And
yeah, that would be awesome.
Yeah, just work with you to launch it. Do you all have email, I assume, with Hearts with a Mission? Do you?
Yeah, heartswithamission.org.
And is that hosted with GoDaddy or somewhere else? Do you know?
Oh, do we have? That's a good question. I have no clue.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if we have email, to be honest with you. I don't know the answer to that one.
Yeah, I don't know if there's anything listed on the because that's always one piece. Is like you've got domain, hosting, and email, and sometimes when you change your hosting, it causes email to go down if you don't have the settings implemented. Don't see anything listed on the site, but let's see. Okay, so it looks like there is an info, at least when
that's a magic thing that happens.
So looks like info@heartswithamission.org.
Yeah, that's where our stuff goes to right now. I think that ends up going to Kevin.
I have a bird in the background, I think. Okay, so we would just need to ask what if that's hosted. We can see if it's in the GoDaddy account, because there's got to be an email thing somewhere, or some people have it with Gmail, like a G Suite thing. Some people have it in a completely different place. So we'll just want to make sure that that box stays intact when we transfer everything over.
Okay, it might be Gmail. I don't know.
Yeah, a lot of people are using that. So if so, then I just need to, it's called MX Records. So I would just need to add the Gmail MX Records in your GoDaddy account.
Okay.
And then we can I can look up real quick who's got the domain. Hopefully it's GoDaddy, because that will make it easier. Yeah, cool. So, so the domain is registered with GoDaddy. So yeah, so that makes it easy then to just ideally set up that hosting plan in that same account.
Okay.
And then we'll just essentially point away from the other server, and then you've got everything in one place too.
Sweet, that'll be great.
Yeah.
All right, I don't know, I think that's it for me. I don't really know what else I should be asking, or
yeah, I mean, a lot of us
thinking
playing
about
around with it, and
right.
And then as you run into things, you know, certainly we can always jump on one of these or something real quick, and I can show you or send you a screenshot or whatever.
Okay.
As you work through
it.
Okay.
Yeah. I think I should be able to work through most of it pretty well.
Mm-hmm.
So
yeah,
I'm excited.
It's a neat tool. Oh, one other thing I'll show you, I forgot, but you'll definitely need to want to use this. But so when you're creating a new row, it's kind of in a little bit of a hidden spot. So it's going to automatically, I did that a little too fast. So if I hit the plus, you always start with a row. So if you type in row, that'll be the first element you want to start with. Or you could copy, you know, something from above and use it. But so if you have a row, if you come over here to the left-hand side, if you hover over this column element, there's all these different layout options for the row. So here's where you can divide it into 2 sections or sections, or, you know, a short and a long section. So that really takes the place of the old WYSIWYG style where you had to like try and align text with a photo on the left and all of that.
Oh my gosh, I stopped to do that with the Snap Pages. It's so fun.
Yeah, we all
okay, cool.
There. So yeah,
right.
So that's something you'll definitely use.
Okay, good. Upper left.
And I'll send you a link to this Zoom video too, so you can reference.
Okay. Yeah, I got my little phone. I got new glasses, and it's like I can't see a thing. It's all big blur.
The who, the where, yeah.
See blue lines. All right.
Okay. Well, yeah.
I think.
Let me know what you run into and help you.
Yeah, thank you for all your help, and really appreciate it. And yeah, I'll be excited to. Hopefully, I won't get. You know, you get so many projects slammed at you, and what you think you'll get done in no time takes longer because you really have something else that just came up. So hopefully my goal is get it really done sooner rather than later. Within the next week or 2 is my goal, really, to have all those pages built. So and I'll be connecting with you, and then we'll figure out the stuff with the email and just getting it migrated and uploaded. Yeah, and board approved.
Right. Yes.
That might be the sticky point right there. It usually is.
Yeah.
Okay, Laura. Well, thank you. Have a great weekend.
Okay. You too.
Yeah. Okay. Well, we'll talk soon.
All right. Sounds good. Keep up the good work.
All right.
Too. You guys do
Thanks.
great.
Thank
All
you.
right.
You too. All right. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.